Are you ready?
Are you ready? Move here! Let's get ready to rumble! I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Four Corners Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, the superstar of all superstars, John Punn. Sitting along my best friend, my brother from another mother, there is no other than Kris motherfucking Rex. And how are we doing today, bro?
I'm excellent and improving, my friend.
Yes, you finally brought that back out. Here we go. Let's do this.
I love the fucking introduction. I love the energy. I fucking love it.
Let's do it. We gotta have that energy.
Yeah, here on the fucking Four Corners Network, where we get the F in streaming live on Facebook, streaming live on Syxx Nyne Radio, Syxx Nyne FM. And the podcast will also be available on YouTube and the TikToks and everywhere else after. Punn, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, like you said, I got that energy today. I'm ready to do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do this.
Yeah, man. So last week we ended on Thursday. You know, every Thursday we do this podcast. Yeah. So I guess, you know, well, let's start off talking about SmackDown, because SmackDown aired Friday right after, and I got a few notes that I actually wrote down.
All right, good, because I don't know how much I remember until you start talking.
So SmackDown, there's just a few things that like kind of just struck me. All right, I've kind of lost interest in where they're going with McIntyre, to be honest. Like that's one thing that stood out to me.
Also, the changing him from Raw to SmackDown suddenly, that threw me off, because he was, you know, just coming out of that CM Punk rivalry, you know. So I that threw me off, because I really didn't know what they were doing with switching up the rosters. But I think I get it. They really want all their big names on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I see that's why people like Damian Priest, The Miz, or all these people went over to SmackDown, and then you got the bigger names on Raw. So that's what I see happening. I see them like just starting off fresh with everybody, but certain people they don't know what to do with. Like both Drew and Damian Priest, like they have no idea what to do with them on SmackDown.
It's funny you brought that up, because one, it's something that me and Brian noticed when we were watching. We were like, wait, what happened to this whole draft and everything? Like, okay, Cody's now going on Raw almost every week. And it's something Ricky brought up yesterday when we were talking, that they're trying to stack Raw so much for Raw on Netflix that now SmackDown's suffering in a way.
That's true. And with SmackDown being a 3-hour show, you know, they got a lot to get in.
Yeah.
So having everybody being mediocre except for Cody Rhodes, that's kind of insane.
Yeah.
You know, who are your main event stars? Cody Rhodes,
mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns, he's not there.
But when he comes back, you know he's going to be on Raw.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, so who's going to be there? Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre with Cody Rhodes.
Well, if you remember back when they started the draft, I mean, I'm going back to 2002, and some of our listeners may not know of this. It was the same thing. They did the draft, but Raw was so stacked that SmackDown was in the same position that it is now. But look what came out of that. You had Edge, Benoit, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, Rey Mysterio, the Cruiserweight division. So that gave SmackDown that chance to thrive like that. And I think maybe with Carmelo, I think is going to be a big player. They have Carmelo there. I think the Motor City Machine Guns, I think we're going to kind of get that vibe now, to where it's like, oh, now, all right, Raw's the stack show. Raw's the A show. Raw's on Netflix. Raw's getting all the recognition. They're the spoiled child. All right, we're gonna show what we can do now.
And I do like the Carmelo Hayes and the Miz thing. That
I love Mello Don't Miz.
I think this is gonna be good. Yes, I do too. I think this is gonna be good. You know, they have a lot of good storylines going on, and the Wyatts are supposed to be on SmackDown now also.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss is on SmackDown, and I think we're gonna get.
And yes, during an Alexa Bliss promo, one of the Wyatt things flashed on the screen, so that's gonna be happening.
I am glad that Jimmy got the win, though. I'm glad they're giving Jimmy some wins now, and giving him kind of a little push. But I just again, back to McIntyre. I just don't know where they're going, and I've kind of lost interest in it.
Yep, because you know they're gonna put him into the main event scene, but I don't think it's gonna be until after Mania.
Yeah.
So now he's just gonna be in limbo until then.
Well, you know. After the whole Drew McIntyre Jimmy match, we had R-Truth. R-Truth is a fucking treasure, bro. Yep. R-Truth is a treasure. Yep. That man, the L.A. Knight, he teams with L.A. Knight and thinks L.A. stands for Louisiana. I fucking love it.
So, R-Truth isn't going nowhere. He don't age either. So
listen, this man has the best.
Another 40 years.
This man has the best gig in wrestling. Okay, he does. He gets paid good money. He doesn't really have to work matches, and when he does work matches, he doesn't have to do shit in them. Okay, he doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to have any belts. All right, he gets his pops. Everyone loves. I mean, who's better than R-Truth in wrestling now? That man is set for fucking life. And they went against Mello and Miz, which I fucking love. Mello Don't Miz. I love that name. I love it.
And I love R-Truth trying to tag into Miz.
Yes. Again,
that was funny also.
R-Truth is a fucking treasure. All right. We had Trish. Trish came out to save Tiffany.
Yep, from getting beat up.
Yep. I think that. Yo, let me tell you, Trish is always ready for that call, bro.
Yeah.
Trish is always ready.
Yep. She is. She's ready to get down and dirty anytime they call her.
Hell yeah. And they call her, if you notice through the years, they called her a lot more than most of the other women.
And especially when they go to Toronto. It's like she's almost always there when they go to Toronto.
And you know what? You put her in a match, and it's not like, oh, damn hit. No, she still got it.
Yep, for sure.
Hell yeah, bro. Like,
for sure.
Props to fucking Trish. So we got Charlotte versus Tiffany happening at Mania. That was I think that was the given. You know, what are your thoughts on Charlotte and Tiffany?
I think it's good for Tiffany's career if she wins. Yeah. You know, why put this young girl with this veteran and then just take the title from her?
That goes back.
That she just won.
That goes back to when we had that little argument over the Rumble, and I'm like, why does Charlotte need to win though? You know what I mean? Especially now, she's gonna go against Tiffany, and if she wins it, like, that doesn't do any. I hope they put Tiffany over, because think about such a monumental thing. She dethroned the Queen. You know what I mean? Like, she did it at WrestleMania. I think that's a better story. But
they're also going for Charlotte to probably make the 18 reigns.
I mean,
18 title reigns.
You could do that anytime, though. You can't have Tiffany. True. You can't have Tiffany beat Charlotte Flair with Tiffany as the champion going into WrestleMania. At WrestleMania, any other time.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
You know, you could always put a belt on Charlotte. You could always do that. That's easy to do. You know what I mean?
Anytime.
Anytime they could do that. But yeah, I just want to know where you were at as far as that match, whether you were in favor of Tiffany or Charlotte, because we're both fans of Charlotte. You know, I've been a fan of Charlotte.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm a huge fan of Charlotte. She is a superstar. She is a main eventer. She is a Hall of Famer. You know, But as long as she stays healthy, you got plenty of time to do whatever you want to do with her. You know, let Tiffany get the big win, and then in a month or two, maybe even SummerSlam, then Charlotte can beat Tiffany. It doesn't need to be rushed. Because sometimes I do feel like they rush a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just informed we're not broadcasting on the radio. See, I told you something was gonna happen, Punn. It was we're not broadcasting. I'm not even gonna go through that. But we got Kris Hope from TikTok on there. I know Kris from TikTok. What's going on, Kris? And we got Karen in here. Karen's
yes,
in.
my lovely mother's here. Yes, she
What's
is.
going on, Karen? Uh, so no, yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm totally with Tiffany dethroning the queen. I think it'll be so much better for
And
Tiffany.
it's not necessarily dethroning her, but just winning.
I'm just saying, like, if
Charlotte ain't going nowhere.
If I'm gonna hype it up as that, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm gonna hype it as an announcer, as a promoter, as Tiffany did it, what nobody really could do at WrestleMania. The queen of WrestleMania just got that's the stank I would put on that. Because that's how I would portray it for Tiffany. To make it even bigger than life. So. And also with SmackDown, here we go. We get to the thing that everyone's talking about, Punn. The Rock. The Rock's promo. The Rock's entrance. The Rock announcing WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. So I'm gonna start off with The Rock's entrance with the whole Lil Wayne thing. I dug it. I understood why that happened. Was it what did it kind of fuck up his pop? Yeah. 100% fucked up his pop. Not that he didn't get a pop, but it's that initial, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, pop. But I didn't mind hearing Lil Wayne and mix. I thought that was pretty fucking dope. All right, there we go. There we go.
I didn't like it.
I thought it was dope.
I was like, just because you're the final boss, you don't have to keep, changing your shit now. Your music is your music. Your music is what sets you apart, man. I
love the I do it because I fucking want to think. Like, yeah, I love that he's just like, I'm just gonna fucking do it because I want to do it.
And also, why come back if you're not gonna have a match? I understand.
I think they're building to a match. What that match is, I don't know. I think they're building to a match.
I think Cody Rhodes should turn heel and join up with The Rock, man.
We're gonna get to that, Punn. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, Punn. We're gonna get to that.
We're talking about it.
We're gonna get to that. He announces WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans, which I loved when they went to New Orleans for WrestleMania. What was it, 30? They went to WrestleMania 30 New Orleans. Yeah. I loved that whole concept, that whole idea. I heard that was a crazy weekend, and it got me thinking. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I want to do one more Mania. And New Orleans is a fucking party town. I'm all about that. So when he announced New Orleans for WrestleMania 42, I'm all for it. And then like, I hope they kind of do like the whole Mardi Gras theme again. Like, I think WrestleMania 30 was a great fucking WrestleMania, and now they're returning to New Orleans. They got to top that. They got to top that to return to New Orleans. Now we have the Rock and Cody segment where the Rock. I'm just gonna sum up. The Rock says he wants Cody's soul. He doesn't want the belt. He wants Cody's soul. He wants Cody to join him. Okay. He wants Cody to sell, like you were just saying, sell his soul to the devil. Punn. Let's speak on it.
Hell yeah. I want to see it. Because this Cody Rhodes, good guy face, happiness character, it can only go so far anyway. Eventually you're going to get tired of what do you want to talk about? Eventually you're going to get tired of this smiling Cody Rhodes, I understand he's the moneymaker, he's the poster boy, but you can still make money. He can still be the poster boy if he's a bad guy. You know,
Yeah.
times are different in wrestling. All right, times are different. This ain't the '90s. This ain't the early
Well,
2000s.
look. Roman Reigns was a heel, and
For
he
4 years,
for 4 years.
face of the company.
Yeah.
All right, so Cody can do it too without smiling everywhere he goes.
This is where I'm gonna agree with you, Punn. I think it's time for Cody to turn, and I like the idea of a corporate Cody. You know what I mean? Now he's doing the bidding. But there's an alternative idea going around there, and I'm sure you've seen it pop up on your Facebook feed, people talking about it, is the idea of maybe, possibly, John Cena turning heel throughout this and being involved with this.
I did not see that.
You did not.
I did
Okay.
see CM Punk joining up with The Rock.
I seen some of that, but I seen a lot of talk about
I didn't see the Cena
about
one. Wow.
the whole thing with Cody turning him down, Cena winning Elimination Chamber, and Cena turning heel and joining with The Rock and being the corporate face of the, trying to be that.
That would be interesting.
For Cena's last. Yes, I said it too. Not a lot of people are agreeing with that. Like, why would he turn heel in the last year of his career? Da da da. That's not going to happen. That's exactly why. That's exactly why you make it happen. One last thing to make you guys remember. We're not going to do the same old Cena shit. You know what I mean? We're going to give you guys what you always wanted this whole time, right? That's how I'm going to go out. You guys always wanted me to do the heel turn. Now I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go out. I think that's perfect. Brian doesn't agree with it, but I think it's a good possibility to see that. I would like to see that.
I do. Yep. Brian don't know what he's talking about.
I did see the CM Punk talks too, which would be interesting. That
would be. That would be interesting too.
There's a couple routes they could go to, and I like it. I like it.
But I do prefer them turning Cody Rhodes heel, but that's not gonna happen.
I think that honestly is the route. I'd like to see the other two options, but I think that's the option they're gonna go with, because I think that's the one that kind of makes more sense, in a way.
That does, yeah, it does make sense.
Turning Cody would make more sense, But again, I guess we'll have to figure out what Cody answers, So Raw. We like it raw on Netflix. The Stacked Show. I like how they said they're not gonna put a time limit on it. Now sometimes they go 3 hours, sometimes they go 2.5, sometimes they go 2. I like that.
I think every week's been 2.5.
I like.
Every week's been 2.5.
I like that they can cut 10 minutes. I like that they're not sticking to a time, though. I like that idea. It adds to that. You never know what can happen.
Yep.
I'm
waiting for the first 4-hour Raw.
Oh my god, bro.
Like you said, you never know what's gonna happen.
Jeez.
The night after Mania, we're gonna be watching Raw all night.
Listen, if
the weekend is just never gonna end.
But like we were just talking about, Raw is the Stacked Show, and again they had Cody on Raw. And I'm like, what's the point of this draft? Because it's not just this Netflix thing. They do it all the time, where they do the draft, and within 3 months of the draft, boom, people are just showing up on shows, and it. I don't like that. Then what's the point of the fucking draft?
That is true. After they do the draft, and then people are switching shows already, by midsummer.
Yeah. Well, like, what is the point of that? But I see why they're trying to get. It's Netflix. They're trying to make this the big thing, and
that's why Cody Rhodes is always showing up on Raw.
Yeah, but then why do you? And you're taking away from Gunther as champion now.
Oh man, we already talked about how I feel about his.
I know. It's been. I don't want to say it, but lackluster. I don't want to say that about Gunther, but because I'm a fan of Gunther even from the Indies, but I think it's like he got the belt, and they never gave him like big matches,
Yeah. And until they do, this title reign really means nothing. That's why he has to beat Jey Uso, and he has to have bigger opponents.
Well, that's something me and Brian were also talking about, and me and you had talked about previously on the podcast. Is now
That's
Jey
it.
Uso, you know, it's they're in some tough situations with some of the stories here on
Yeah.
where they're gonna go. So now you have Seth Rollins involved with Cody, and it's like where are they going with all this? I'm a little bit confused as to where they're gonna go with everything.
But Seth is on Raw.
Yeah,
All right, so
that's why I'm saying I'm just confused by that. I love the ending with the women's tag match and the belts changing.
yes, because that means Jade is coming back.
I still think it was Naomi.
Yeah, definitely, 100,000%.
I've been saying it since it happened, and at first Brian didn't
Yeah.
agree with me, and then now he came to me the other day. He's like, I was like, yeah, bro, I think it's always been. I was like, if you notice when Michael Cole's on commentary and he's talking about, he's like, allegedly.
I wonder what my mom thinks about that.
Karen, let us know. What do you think
What do
about
you
it?
think about who attacked Jade Cargill? But yeah, I was glad they lost the titles. You know, it's good. The Elimination Chamber, all of them aren't winning. None of them are going to Mania. All four of them. So who does that leave? Who's the other two in the Women's Chamber?
I don't know.
Because aren't all four of them in the chamber? Or is it just Belair? Belair, Raquel, and Liv. Damn, I don't even remember.
I don't. Hold on. I'll look it up right now.
I was getting to it.
All right, women's elimination chamber match. Let's see. Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bailey, Naomi, and Roxanne.
Oh, so Roxanne is winning. Oh, fuck, what did I do to my computer? Okay, no. The shit just turned off, the screen. So I thought, like, you lost me.
No, we're still here. We're still here. So, no, yeah.
I think Roxanne is winning.
Like we said last week,
the-
Roxanne's had been having a fucking crazy 2025 already.
But I definitely think Roxanne is going to win that match. They're going to They're putting her onto the main roster differently than how they normally do it.
Yeah, I like it though. I like it.
Yep.
It's kind of a build-up. She's working on everything, on every show, and fuck it, bro. Props to her. Like she fucking deserves it. She's in that, and she's taking that opportunity and running with it.
Word.
So now, I didn't get to watch AEW. I've been pretty busy working on stuff.
I'd be seeing clips on Facebook.
Yeah, me too. We were talking about it before we got on air. The characters, the acting, the presentation of the storylines. I don't want to. I'm really trying not to like shit on anything here, but I just don't like it. It's not coming off as believable.
It's not. A lot of the shit they're doing is like, all those concertos that Edge is doing every week, they look so fake, In WWE, when he did them shits look devastating.
Yeah.
Now you could tell he's not hitting nobody. You could tell when Willow Nightingale did it to Marina, she didn't hit her. But then you put both of them into one ambulance. That is hilarious. They put Cesaro or whatever his name is now, and Marina into one ambulance after they both took the concertos from Edge and Nightingale.
That's it. But then there's the Thunder Rosa. and
Oh, that's. I saw a video of that when she came out with the chair.
with the bro, like I didn't know what the hell was going on there. Like it, and it's shit like that, and that they got to get that together, man. Though they have a great talent roster, they have great put some stories, some compelling stories. I feel like 2 years ago they had some great story when they were running this shit with MJF. MJF, I feel they kind of lowered down. You know what I mean? Like you don't. MJF isn't the big thing there anymore. You know what I mean?
He should have. That should have never ended.
Yeah.
You know, they should have just been building him up, building him up, building him up, building him up. They should have never stopped that.
It's and sometimes I feel like they put on matches just to put on matches. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, you're right.
Which I'm not saying some of those matches are bad or any. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but when there's no reason for it, you know, what's the point of having, you know, you do that for house shows, you know, you do that, you know,
and I did see a clip of somebody that was bloodied and knocked out, but you see them moving as the camera is running up to them.
See, it's you got to make it believable, because you're not just a wrestling show. You're not an indie wrestling show. You're a television product now.
Yep.
And now you have to portray these stories. You know, when the reason why like the indies is kind of like they have the indie style and where like really you don't need to have a character all the time is because there's not something continuing to do that. You know what I mean? There's not something every week to keep you invested in that. You know?
Yep.
Now you have what 2-3 televisions a week. You have to constantly keep people involved in stories, and just booking matches just to book matches isn't gonna cut it. You know? Yeah, it's a great match, but then at the end of the day, I just watched two people flip and flop and everything. And think about it, that's coming from me. I love spots, and I love that style of wrestling. I in my teens, that's what I watched. But there's always a story, you know. And when there's no story to it, what am I investing in? Why am I cheering for this guy? Why am I booing for this guy or this girl? Like, what's the reason I need to buy this pay-per-view?
That is absolutely true. I think I found the video. I'm watching it now, and if this is it, I'm gonna send it to you, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Oh no.
But no, it's, and then we had a few months ago, we had that picture with Shane McMahon and Tony Khan. They had a meeting. It drove the internet wild. Everyone was speculating. Well, now apparently it's been revealed what happened with that. And
what happened with that, Kris?
Apparently at that meeting, everything was going well. There were talks of him coming in to AEW, but Shane wanted, I believe, equity in the company, and he wanted to run things.
You know, but that to me sounds like a strong arm. You know, he's trying to come in there just because his name is McMahon and thinks he's going to get everything handed to him. You know, you're not going to come in and run my company just because your name is Shane McMahon. I'm not going to give you equity. Ha! Equity. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but what, like, I understand that. That was definitely coming on too strong. But also, it's kind of like, well, maybe he knows something that, you know, could benefit my company. You know, maybe there's things that WWE practices that WWE had that maybe he can help put into AEW, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely things he could teach Tony because, you know, Khan is not a, no matter how many years
he's not a wrestling guy.
Now, he's not a wrestling guy. You know. So there are things Shane could teach, but you can't
because
come
that
in there
I think
and be
that's
like, "This is what I want,"
this is
and this is
that's the
what you're
number.
gonna give me.
Yeah, I feel you on that, but that's the number one thing that's also Tony Khan has like is that he's a fan running a company and he's booking it that way as well.
Hmm.
Remember when AEW started, it
That's
was
what
it
it,
was
it,
co
it, it's a fan booking a company.
when AEW first started, you had Cody, Nick, the Jacksons, Young Bucks, and Kenny. They were kind of running things, and then all of a sudden Tony wanted to be executive. He wanted to be the one in control of all the stories, and then notice that I believe that's around the time Cody was
Yeah,
on his way out.
that's definitely a reason
You
why
know,
Cody left.
So at that point, it's like you need somebody that knows his business to kind of help you with that. All right, maybe not take full control, but all right, guide you in a direction. And he has to. And Tony Khan, I don't think is the type of guy that I don't know him, but from the vibes that I get from these reports and everything, and that's all I can really go by, is that he may not take advice, the right way,
But one thing is, he still has Chris Jericho there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a brain that's great for this business. Jericho hasn't left him yet.
No.
I wonder if he takes advice from Jericho at all.
Well, from what I've heard, Jericho's position has never changed from the day he stepped into AEW.
Okay.
I don't think because he's always been a part of that was part of his deal coming into the company.
All right, no doubt.
So I don't think his position there was lost at all. But again, Tony runs it, and it's like, well, I rather Shane McMahon run everything than Tony when I think about, you know what I mean? At least a guy this is a guy that grew up in the business.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you can't just like with me and you. If we were running DIW as a pro company right now, and we interviewed Shane McMahon, are we just going to give him everything?
No,
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
give.
want to do that.
I wouldn't give him everything.
We're going to work together. You're not just going to come in and start running everything. You are becoming a partner.
But I wouldn't ghost Shane McMahon, and that's kind of also the thing. I wouldn't ghost him. I'd fly home. The face-to-face meeting, all right, where we'll end it at that, fly home. I'll fly home. We'll think about it. I'll text you and be like, hey, how about we renegotiate it? Let's come up with something that works for both of us. That's how I would have continued that, because that would have been the professional thing to do. I wouldn't have took that as, oh, he thinks he can run. That's it. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have threw a little attitude or anything, because I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Is he thought it was a joke, and he was like, ha ha, mama, yeah, you're fucking joking, right? I would have been like, hey, let's sit on this and think about it, and then let's reconnect, renegotiate. Let's see if there's something we can come up with. What do you really want? What are you really looking for out of this? I'll tell you what I'm really looking for with you, because I am interested in having you in the company. Boom. That's how it should have been handled, honestly.
That's how it should have been handled.
And then maybe we would have had Shane McMahon in AEW, and the internet would have fucking blew up, and fucking every fucking sports magazine would be fucking talking about it, and boom. You would have already made money off of it.
That's funny though.
But yeah, that's just my how I felt about funny. AEW and how Punn feels about AEW. Punn, why don't you bring us into NXT?
NXT seems to be the highlight of the week every week lately.
It is. This
TNA partnership is off the hook, and now they're building up Roadblock for MSG with all these interpromotional matches.
Hold on. Before you continue, just think about the words you just said. NXT at Madison Square Garden.
Yep. With interpromotional matches with TNA.
With TNA. Bro.
That's some shit, man.
5
All right.
years ago, you would have told me that. I would have said, Punn, you're fucking crazy.
So the show started with Oba and Moose.
Yes.
So they finally set up the match. It looks like it's not title for title. It's just for the NXT title.
That's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
But that's going to be great because now they also booked the Hardys versus Fraxium, but it's for the TNA tag titles.
Yeah, that's
and not the NXT titles. So I like how they're doing this, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, I think I'm starting to eat my words on this partnership because when
this partnership is what is needed for the industry. As crazy as it sounds, it's what's needed for this industry.
You know my feelings on partnerships in wrestling and how I feel it never fucking works out because somebody always has the bigger ego. Somebody's guys always have to go over. Somebody's champions always have to win. Somebody's titles always have to be on. With this, it's going against everything that I've thought and seen and and has seen myself in wrestling. Okay, It's going against everything because it's like, no, this is working. This isn't what everyone knows. I thought this was gonna be like I told you on this podcast when we first came back. I thought this was just gonna be okay. This is a way for them to get TNA talent when first dibs on TNA talent when the contracts are up. This is gonna a way for kind of a WWE to buy out TNA. That was my thoughts on this.
Yeah, I know. You thought it was the end of TNA. But, I like what they're doing. They even had Santino there to announce the tag team match.
They're rejuvenating TNA. And I like I said, I'm a man that's willing to admit I've been wrong about this fucking deal, bro. And I'm excited. Like, I love what's going on.
Having everybody on both shows is fucking crazy. It's crazy. I do enjoy it. But one thing that shocked me is what they're doing with the women's titles. It's going to be Julia versus Stephanie Vaquer title for title. And I'm like, why? They both just won their titles.
Can I tell you why? I would like to tell you why because I was going to bring this up, but
Why put both titles on one?
Julia is injured now.
I heard that. So she can lose it to somebody else. It doesn't have to be Vaquer. Why put both titles on one person?
I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that supposedly is the reason why it's happening.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Julia could have lost to Cora Jade.
They could have. They could have done Vaquer versus Julia and just did it for the North. And do it for the North American belt. You know what I mean?
Yep. Julia could lose to fucking Jada Parker. There's so many people Julia could lose to. And go out and recover from her injury. It doesn't have to be Vaquer. Both titles don't need to be on one woman.
Well,
so what you gonna do?
She's gonna be the hot. She's the hot thing right now.
But what are they gonna do? They're just gonna get rid of the North American title? They have too many women to get rid of the North American title. They just brought it in. I don't understand what's the point of both titles on one person.
Honestly, I think it's also for the big advertising. They're in MSG. They're trying to pull out, kind of like Raw on Netflix. They're trying to pull out all the stops here. And I think it's more of a promotional thing, and a way to get the title off of Julia. Figure how can we make a big enough match, for NXT at Madison Square Garden. While we also have TNA there, and all right, we'll put both of our fucking champions, our two hottest fucking stars right now, against each other. I don't completely agree with it, but I understand it.
What they could have also done to make things interesting is a multi-woman match with both champions, 2 falls, one for the North American title, one for the world title, like they did with the Eurocontinental shit back in the day. That would have been dope. A 6-pack challenge with both titles on the line. One for there's so many different ways you could do it where Vaquer doesn't end up with both belts. I just think that's crazy putting both belts on Vaquer.
Yeah.
That is just my only gripe with it. Yeah, let her lose it. Whatever, make it multi person match. You know, do things differently. You don't need to make a double champion now. How does it look when Vaquer loses the North American title now?
Yeah, the
You
NXT
know,
Women's Champion just lost.
you're a double champion, and now you lost your North American title. You know, how strong does that make you look as the heavyweight champion?
Yeah,
So
I get you. I get you.
I got to see how this plays out in the coming months, I guess. But that part of it is the only thing I don't like too much. But I guess we'll see how it goes and where it goes.
Yeah, but I what do you think is gonna happen with because they're saying that the Hardys have already filming new stuff for WWE. They're gonna get WWE merch. Like that's crazy. I know
Yeah,
it's
they
I know
already put
I
on
know
this
it's the
different-
Hardys. I know it's the Hardys. So it's kind of a different thing. But at the same time, it's like think about it. Two TNA contracted wrestlers are getting WWE merchandise and WWE. You know what I mean? Even if it is
What
the
I'm waiting
Hardys.
for, what I am waiting for, is somebody from the other company to win a title,
Yeah,
and it could happen with the tag team titles.
yeah,
Fraxium could beat the Hardys, or the Hardys could end up beating Fraxium for the NXT titles. You know, say what happens is the Hardys retain, and then they want a rematch for the NXT titles. You know,
yeah.
shit can happen where one of them do win, but that's what I'm waiting to see in this partnership. I want to see anybody
Win the other company's
title.
belt.
Yep. I want to see that.
I-
That would solidify this partnership as a good thing.
Yeah.
When that happens, no matter what company it is, but somebody losing their title to another company.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll also see that within the next coming months.
Bro,
Where this goes, because now you have bigger and bigger names going to each side. With Moose coming over and Fandango coming back.
yeah, with Fandango.
Jordan Grace. I do want to see where this go, how this goes, and I think it's going to be great. I do. I think it's going to grow into something that we are not expecting.
Yeah. And that's the excitement I like for it. And hats off to Triple H, bro. Hats off to Triple H for that. Because this would have never happened under Vince.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I actually think Shawn Michaels is also involved in shit happening.
Yeah?
I think he has.
You think he's
power.
more involved than
I
you
think he has more power than we think. I don't think he's just the on screen NXT.
No. I know he is
I think
the guy in NXT. Like he's the Triple H of NXT. He has that authority in that. But I think like you're saying, he has more power within WWE as a whole than we think.
Yep, and I think Undertaker also.
Yeah.
I think there's
Think
a lot
about
of
that, bro. Think about that.
veterans that
The
are
Rock?
running the company,
The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker?
running this company.
What? Like, that's how you have to think about it, bro. Like, our childhood, our top stars from our childhood, Punn, are running
the business.
That has never happened in wrestling, bro. I don't think that's ever happened.
Never ever.
They've never let a wrestler get that far.
But it is crazy to see what's going to happen in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Wrestling can only grow if they do this correctly.
Yeah. 100%.
We are going to get to the point where there's going to be a show on 7 days a week.
We're almost there, bro. We're almost there.
We are.
We're almost
I think
there.
we are there. We got Monday Raw, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday
is AEW, Thursday is TNA,
Friday is SmackDown, Saturday is AEW, and then we have Saturday and Sunday pay-per-views.
Yep.
So I mean we are there, but it's insane, bro. It's insane.
It's crazy. And if bro, and that's why it's hard for us to fucking cover everything. Because think
Yep.
about it, if this was
I
5
got a
years
job
ago,
to go to. I can't watch all this wrestling.
if this
you
was
know?
5 years ago and there was and wrestling was, only on a couple times a week, cool. But now it's
Yeah.
like, bro, there's too much on, and I can't
It's
possibly.
it's not too much. Don't get me wrong. I like that there's so much on. It's not too much. It's just not enough time to watch it all.
That's what I mean. It's
You know?
like too much to watch. Like I can't possibly dedicate every day to it, dude. And
I
then
love-
and then go out and wrestle on Friday.
Yep. Right. And yep.
Bro,
I feel
it's
you. And catch up on sleep. You know,
Bro.
and eat and.
yeah, bro. It's hard. So I that's why I try to cover what we can on here. But yeah. So I mean, there's nothing else really I caught up on this week. And it is Thursday.
It is
so
Thursday.
Tomorrow is Friday, and we'll be catching SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I guess you wanna head to the game.
Oh shit! It's my turn.
Time to play the game.
It's my turn.
I gotta start adding like a Triple H soundbite. The time to play the game. That's it.
There you go. You should.
So last week I got what, 7?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, and my theme was tag teams.
Yes.
So this week, Punn, your theme is former Intercontinental Champions.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Former mid carders.
No, some of them were not. Most of them were mid carders. Some of them are legends. And main eventers. So I got 7 right. I think you're gonna do pretty well on this one. All right.
All right. I hope.
So we're gonna play.
I hope.
We're gonna play number 1 right now.
Here we go.
All right. Let me just get this ready.
Oh
Ooh.
shit! Sorry.
Whoa. All right. Number 1.
Oh, that's the legend, Macho Man. Come on.
I knew. See. All right.
Come
Former
on.
Intercontinental Champion, a Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Come on. You put one of my favorite guys first. All right.
All right. See.
Then I might tie you. Let's see how this goes.
All right. Number 2.
Is that Rick Rude?
Yes, it is Rick Rude.
I was like, that's either Rick Rude or Rick Martel. And I couldn't put my finger on it for a second. But I wasn't sure if Martel actually won the belt.
All right. You are 2 for 2 right now, Punn. Will you be? You better be 3 for 3 on this one. All right.
That is the Ultimate Warrior.
Load up the rocket ship. It is the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh shit.
You are now 3 for 3. All right. I told you these are gonna. You were gonna get these.
You did make it easy, Mr. Perfect.
There we go. You are
You
4
did
for
make it.
4.
You did make it kind of easy.
I was looking through, and I was looking through Intercontinental Champion, from the 80s and 90s, and I was like, these were really all the you know what I mean? They won the belt so many times, these guys, and I was like, the other people in between, I was like, I'm not even gonna guess who their music is. All right.
All right. I can't hear. That sounds like Piper.
It is Piper.
Okay.
It is Piper. So you are 5 for 5 right now.
Okay. All right.
We are now going. That was all of the 80s ones. We are now going into the 90s.
Those were the 80s ones? Didn't
Yes.
fucking Piper win the belt like in 91, 92?
Yes, but I meant wrestlers, like wrestlers.
Okay. All right.
Now we're going towards the 90s wrestlers here. All right. This is actually one of your favorite wrestlers, Punn.
Shawn Michaels. Oh God! Come on. That is your favorite wrestler, Bret Hart.
I wanted to throw you off there.
Fucking Bret Hart.
All right. You are now 6 for 6.
I can't believe this. I was nervous about today.
I told you you were gonna get at least 5 to 6 of these.
All right, so here we go. Make it harder. That's Razor Ramon.
All right. You are now 7 for 7. I should have made these a bit harder. All right, 7 for 7.
That is the man that we will be running a 4-part series on. That is Hunter Hearst Helmsley, to be exact.
I specifically threw that in there for the plug.
All right.
So yes,
we will be
doing the Hunter Hearst Helmsley. What is it? I guess we'll call it a retrospective.
Yeah, something cool. We'll come up with a nice, cool name for it.
Yeah, we're gonna be going through different parts of his career and just going through his career and kind of proving why he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, you gotta have harder ones. Come on.
There's 2 more left. And the last one I specifically made easy. So come on, Punn. Don't fuck it up, Punn.
Is that Shamrock?
That is fucking Shamrock.
I was like, oh, who is that?
I didn't want to play too much of it.
Because then I would have really known.
All right, this one.
I was thinking like Mark Merrow at first.
All right, listen closely, because I am only going to play a little bit of this fucking song. This is your last one. You are 9 for 9. That's all I'm playing for you.
Oh, that's Chris Jericho. I used to stand in front of my TV every time he came out.
Yeah, there we Punn, you are 10 for fucking 10 today.
All right, you made those too easy.
I made them too easy? All right.
I got to make next week's real easy for you now.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because I'll take the challenge. 10 for 10, Punn. I made them a little bit too easy. A little bit too easy for you.
You sure did.
Because, I'm like, we haven't been hitting the marks we need. You know what I mean? It's like we've 7, 6. I'm like, we should be fucking acing this shit.
7 was a good number. Though.
You remember when we used to fucking chill out in your mom's crib when you lived with your mom? And fucking, we used to fucking play the game. You only used to play like 3-4 seconds of the fucking song. We used to be guessing them fucking shits, bro.
Those were the days, bro. Those were the fucking days.
All right, so you are the winner chicken dinner.
For now.
I also got to come up with other fucking themes, man. I had a problem. I was thinking of themes, and I was like, I can't do like WCW because I know you really didn't watch WCW. You know?
Yeah.
So I couldn't like.
I was thinking that too. Like.
That means.
What can I do differently for you?
You gotta start. We gotta start studying up on themes. That's.
I guess so. I guess we gotta be listening to fucking WCW playlists. While we out.
Right? Shit.
But the ECW one that I started you off with wasn't a bad theme.
No, that wasn't. Well,
You know,
I
because
was very fond of it.
we both really didn't know a lot of them, and a lot of them did sound the same when you came to certain people.
Yeah, like Rhino.
Yep.
Everything.
He had 4 different themes.
Rhino, and Rhino.
If anybody still listening can come up with a theme for us for the Guess Your Theme game, let us know.
Yes,
You
yes.
know?
You guys, you guys will have a week, so you guys can watch this back or listen back and let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what themes you want you would like to hear us do, and maybe you guys can try to stump us. It's
Yep. Yeah, maybe we'll bring on a guest to play the game with us.
right. Yeah, maybe well.
know?
I did have a couple ideas for some guests, so I'll talk to you about that. After bringing
Yep.
some people on, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that's all we kind of have for you for today. Short show, 56 minutes, 57 minutes, almost an hour.
Just under an hour.
Just under an hour. Oh,
We got to sit here silent for 4 minutes so we hit the hour mark.
I gotta get like some fucking like classical music to play when we cut early.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
Like, we are now gonna take a musical break.
We could just have Hunter Hearst Helmsley's music playing on repeat. Oh man, that's funny.
Oh shit. Oh man. Oh fuck. Hold on.
Look, we're gonna make it to an hour.
We are gonna make it to an hour. We are. We're gonna... Ladies and gentlemen, please absorb the essence of the classical music here on Four Corners Podcast.
Do you know how much that actually worked? Oh man.
Oh fuck. Yes, there we go. That's how we're gonna do. So
that's gonna be what we use.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Four Corners Podcast here on Syxx Nyne Radio, here on the Four Corners Podcast Facebook page, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Zeno, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts.
That's a lot.
Yeah, tune in next week. Up, someone's laundry's done. Tune in next week for another episode of the Four Corners Podcast with me and John Punn. And we'll also have in a few weeks we'll be starting the Triple H retrospective, going through his career. Always look forward to the game. As always, be excellent to each other, Punn, and keep supporting pro wrestling.
Yeah.